Hi there. It's been quite a while since I made a video. Had lost a little bit of motivation, but now we're back into it. In this series, we're going to be talking about how to work with Ionic framework, and we're going to be building a small app once we've learned the basic components and how to work with it and setting it up. Now, you don't need any previous skills because honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, I just learned how to use this like 5 minutes ago. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to use the components and everything that's available to us within this framework, and we're going to create a small anime app like you might have seen in my React Native course or my Electron course, which is basically just pulling some data from the gcanmo API, which is just an anime list API, and just creating a simple list and going from there with some navigation. So anyways, back to where we are here. So what is Ionic? Now, Ionic is a framework that allows us to be able to develop applications for multiple different types of platforms. So for example, we can develop a application for the for Android, iOS, and web, and we only need one code base to work with that. Now that does sound very familiar if you've ever worked with Flutter or if you've ever worked with Expo Go. With Flutter, you only need one code base. Using Dart, the language, you can build applications for multiple different platforms. Same thing here. So since Ionic uses one of the more popular languages in the entire world, JavaScript, we're able to create applications using React for Android, iOS, and web. So that can allow us to, have cheaper development instead of hiring more developers, and allow us to be able to just have one code base for everything. In my personal experience, I haven't had much of an opportunity to create applications where only one code base is required. Usually it's multiple different ones, but it is possible with frameworks like Ionic. Now then, if you want to follow along, go ahead and click on the link in the description down below and go ahead and click on components. So another benefit that Ionic provides us is UI components, so many of them right out of the box that we can simply implement into our applications, such as calendars, floating action buttons, grids, all that good jazz that we would need to build a app. And the best thing is that it'll make the entire app have a have a more polished look out of the box, so we don't really have to worry about our own designing. Now, the next thing that's really cool about this framework is that there are some things called capacitor integrations. If you need access to native features like the camera, GPS, or notifications, Ionic has the tool right here called Capacitor, and it can bridge the gap between web and native functionality. So for example, we have the access to camera, clipboard, device information, network motion, all that good jazz. So right out of the box, you're able to have access to these plugins, so you don't have to build your own. So that's a little bit about what Ionic is and what it can do for us. Now, follow me in the next video where we will be setting up a basic Ionic application. However, you will need a little bit of basic experience with JavaScript. React would be very beneficial. And as well as if you want to run this on an emulator specifically, you will need Android Studio setup. However, we're just going to be worrying about running it through localhost and just developing it through localhost specifically. And by the end of it, once we have learned the components, we're going to expand on our knowledge and make a simple application. So follow me to the next video, and I'll see you then.